What is going on, guys? We are back for another DSP video, and the mental decline, the gin brain, is getting even worse, as you'll see today. So we start off today with a throwback from Dick Stroke and Phil Vlogs. DSP asking Jade, did you walk around when he mentioned he'd been to Universal Studios is still a 10 out of 10 moment in DSP history. Then we also have Orphan. That and when he told Super Blind Man how you are not seeing what I'm seeing. Then on DSP versus the internet, DSP decided to react to Nick Ricotta. And man, oh man, it sounds very familiar who he's describing here. So we got Poems. DSP, while you're busy saying this about other content creators, pretending you're above all of it, I want to remind you, you met your now wife in this way.
They know that he's a mess and he drinks and he talks about shit like this on his streams, and now they're getting exactly what they want out of him. He's making the content that they designed for him to make with this setup. Do you see? He's fell for the trap. That's what it seems like to me, right? Because honestly, if you were someone who needed help, are you going to start texting a random YouTuber you probably don't like because you think they're a LOLCOW? I mean, what? Right? And if they did, if you're the YouTuber, wouldn't you just say, I don't know who this person is, what is this nonsense, and block it? Why would you entertain it? This is wild. This is insanity. This is so far removed from anything I would be involved in. Like, what the holy hell is this guy doing? Right?
And DSP to this day is still salty over Twitch. He will never let it go because they wronged him, dude. And I guarantee if he ever outlives Twitch, he's gonna have a celebration day over that. So there's some Poems. I never got in trouble with Twitch ever. I never said hateful slurs on Twitch. Meanwhile, today, and we have a clip here. Now keep in mind, he always said, I never got in trouble, but behind the scenes they talked to me about this. They gave me a warning, but I never got in trouble. You see the contradictions there?
I've even, back when I was on Twitch, I got into trouble because during a Christmas marathon, I said a word. I was trying to impersonate a person who's a bad streamer. And then I said a word that I shouldn't have said when I was drunk, you know? And I was trying to say, this is what you don't do when you're a streamer. But I said it, and then I got in trouble. Like, Twitch yelled at me. Like, why did you do that? Here's a warning for what you did or whatever, right?
Then DSP went on to blame game devs and his audience why games don't do well on his channel, why they're not supported. So, not getting views equals game devs' fault for releasing games that don't appeal to his audience. Not getting money equals your fault for not liking the games being released. And we have the recycle logo. And the real DSP adds on to it. After just ranting about don't buy new games so companies learn, also laughed when someone asked if he would get a job at a game company. He said no, because he knows nothing about game development. The guy who constantly rants about how bad games are. And this is a surprise for you guys. All the title says is presented without comment.
What? Anyway, some idiot in the chat saying something dumb. Anyway, no, not you, Jordan. So this idiot over here. Like, literally someone saying, oh, you can't say anything in Phil's chat, you'll get banned. What are you talking about? You literally just said that and you didn't get banned. Like, what are you saying that's getting blocked? In fact, here, let's take a look. If I scroll up, no one banned anything this guy said. He's saying stupid thing. You want to hear what he says? Look, here's what he said that got blocked in chat. See that fatty can never take an L. There's so much meat writing in his chat. Yeah, I wonder why your message got blocked. Gee, I wonder. I wonder what that could possibly be in reference to, right? I wonder why that message didn't make it to my chat. You fucking buffoon. Anyway. You can't make this shit up. So let's just get rid of him now so we don't have to deal with this nonsense any further. Okay, so...
Yeah, you showed him, Phil. He was complaining about being blocked because you were censoring him and his channel and everyone that speaks in your chat. And then what happens? The message gets blocked / censored. And what happens after that? You block him. Wow, I wonder if he was correct about that, Phil. All the meat riders in your chat. Then, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like FalloutMania, as Phil puts it, is all over. Fallout 4 failed to save the channel. His viral video that got like 30K because of clickbait and botting. All that hype is gone. His streams are dead. His videos on demand are dead. And you know what it is? It's the people's fault. It's the devs' fault. It's everyone's fault except DSP's, because he did everything correct. He did nothing wrong. So we have this here. DSP brought back Fallout 4 due to hype surrounding the TV show. DSP now wants to slowly sunset the game due to the hype dying off. AKA, he needs a whale or it needs to go away.
That's great. But if everyone just thinks, dude, every game should be 1 week and then you go to the next, how do you ever retain an audience? How do you ever get interest in any game ever? Right? Especially the kind of games that I like to play. You guys know, a lot of these games that I play are longer experiences, narrative-based experiences. How do you get people coming back for that? If they're just going to say, it's been a week, on to the next. On to the next what? There's nothing else. There's literally nothing else right now. So what do you want? I don't even know what you're asking for, right? So, basically, yeah, I don't know how to get people hooked on a playthrough like this, because people were so excited. That's why I started playing it again. And now immediately, like not even 2 weeks later, I couldn't believe the difference. All right. Now, here's the thing. Maybe it was just a fluke. It was only one stream like this. I don't want to kill a playthrough or dramatically change the way I deliver it to you just because of one stream. All right. So I'm going to give it another shot. We're going to do Fallout 4 again later this week. We're going to get to the schedule in a second, and I'll tell you. But we're going to do it as a day stream again. And we're going to see if it recovers a bit. Are people more engaged, right? Are people more supportive? Do people want it more as a daytime stream? If not, and we do it again, and it ends up basically not doing well as a day stream, we can easily turn it into a late night chill stream style game. But just understand then, we're not getting anywhere in it very, very soon. You know, late night chill stream games are only 2 hours a pop. And you usually play them about twice a week, maybe 3 times if you really push hard, and I schedule it a lot. But you just don't make as much progress, right? And especially a game like Fallout 4, you know the game is long. Plus it has DLCs, which I don't know if anyone was interested in seeing me play them. But I have the DLCs, right? And I just feel like I want to keep playing it. I'm actually really enjoying it. But maybe this is a case where really it was just based around hype. And sadly, if people are just going to trail off and not care about it anymore, then maybe we do have to move on.
You hear that, guys? We might get another wage quit this year. It's funny how he didn't do with Skyrim, didn't do with Oblivion, or New Vegas, or any of the other Bethesda games. I also love it when he goes, guys, I like this game. I love this game. Why are you supporting? You need to support the things I like. Phil, you don't understand. After 16 years, you are the entertainer. Well, supposed to be the entertainer. You're supposed to entertain the chat. The chat is not supposed to entertain you. You got the script all flipped up, bro. Then every single day, it seems like, he rallies and rants against Twitch, saying that they're idiots, saying he would never go back. Then it was, oh, I'll go back if I have to for a short time, just in case something happens on YouTube and I have to find a new home, but it won't be permanent. Well, now it's, well, I would go back permanent, but under these conditions. And also keep in mind, he has now dropped that he wants an apology from Twitch. So that is no longer necessary. However, he wants the entire landscape changed. He wants everyone fired before he considers going back, you know, because he's such a big draw on the internet.
Not permanently. If it was a temporary solution, because there was nothing else I could do for a temporary period of time, but I would never go back there full time. The only time ever that I would go back to Twitch full time is if they kick the fuck out of their management team out of there, and they have a whole 180 shift of philosophy of how they're going to run their business to be more professional. Then I would go over there. That would mean immediately upping their bitrate on their streams so people can actually stream 1080p 60 frames. No more cancel culture bullshit. No more ultra liberal bullshit. I don't want fucking political judgments of how they're running a gaming streaming business. So I want all that shit gone. If that's gone, then I would consider going back. But it looks like that they are literally on the downward trend, and they're just doing nothing but getting worse and worse. So no, I'm not planning on going back.
Then DSP was begging people. He needs new music on his pre-stream. Please, guys, you need to make more. Do my job for me. And then talk about how he owns the rights the fan remixes, even though the fan remixes contain copyright material, which he's got in trouble for over the years.
You've got to be incredibly careful about what you use on YouTube, because at any moment something can change. Rights can change hands, and then someone tries to sue someone else. Someone tries to do this or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And basically that's the problem. So a lot of people say to me, Phil, will you ever have new music on your pre-streams? Well, yeah, every once in a while someone makes a fan remix of my voice to some kind of a beat or song, and I use it. But for the most part, we're going to continue to go ahead and just use the same music. If someone wants to make new remixes for my streams or whatever, great. I'm more than happy to use my own stuff, because I'm not going to get claimed for myself, right? But outside of the realm of that, yeah, it's just not worth the rip.
Now, Phil says that, but Phil, what happened to the Hobo and Dogs song? Oh, by the way, he does have a song on there, the Sonic song. It's about bestiality, just saying. Then what would a pre-stream be without slander? This time against the Canon Brothers yet again. So for a guy who's always crying about people slandering him, destroying his business, making up rumors and lies, he sure makes up rumors and lies about other people and demands that something happened to them. It'd be hilarious if someone who's rich, like the Canon Brothers, got wind of this and started suing DSP, and they go to Discovery and they realize DSP lied about everything. So poems. DSP is accusing the Canon Brothers of intentionally ripping off Justin Wong of prize money through deceptive practices.
Literally ripping this kid off. And one of the Canon Brothers, I don't know which one it was, got into a big argument with Henry Sen saying, it's on the website. It's on the website. Go to the B5 website. It says right on there that we're keeping a cut of the proceeds of the tournament as organizers' fees to pay for the venue. And Henry's like, that's not on the website. We know it's not. But they insisted it was. Okay? So here's what happens. Basically, Justin goes home with less money. And there's nothing that can be done about it at all. Okay? And overnight, the Canons go on their website, the B5 website, and they add a line of dialogue that was not there before, okay? And it says, this tournament will keep like 30% of proceeds to run it. It wasn't there before. So they literally ripped everybody off. Now, at first, people didn't realize it and said, I guess, oh, you benefit of the doubt. It's there now, so it must have been there all along. No, people use things like of course, I don't know if it was called Wayback Machine, but they actually proved that the Canons overnight at the end of the tournament, when it ended, went and added that line to protect themselves and basically were completely dishonest about it.
Then we have this video from Street Fighter, but DSP said he can't see your comments.
What's funny is someone just said, why play Street Fighter when you get beat up in Twitter comments, which makes no sense. But it's like, you realize I don't see any Twitter comments, right? My Twitter is in a situation where I only can see comments from people who like are approved users, and no one can respond to me either. Like, if they do, I still don't see it. I don't see any of it. I don't have to ever read anyone's dumb comment. Ever. I don't ever see that. There's entire giant viral negative things about me. I've never seen one of them. I don't bother with it because I'm not a moron. I don't waste time on Twitter, a bunch of idiots being toxically stupid to myself and others. I just ignore all that shit. So I never get to see it ever. I never see it. So any moron who ever tweets that, I've never seen it once. I only basically use Twitter for work. Like, that's it. That's its use now. I don't really do much up there besides just work stuff.
Of course, the reason he doesn't see anything is because he's got most of Twitter blocked on there. Remember, he said he only uses Twitter for work. But remember all those viral posts about the Oscars and Netflix? Sure, Phil, sure. Whatever your narrative says to you right now. Then we've all seen the backlash to the Helldiver 2 controversy. And DSP himself said that Sony won't budge. He said this on Saturday. And then, not even a day later, PlayStation said they would not implement it. But let's see what Phil said before this.
So I will predict that despite the fact that Sony is being called out and exposed for being completely dishonest, ultimately no one will be able to do anything about it. And Helldivers 2 may or may not continue to be successful, but Sony will go on their merry way and nothing will ever happen. At least from my personal experience, I don't think that these kind of things sadly get to anything of positive change. They should. Like, I feel like Helldivers players should get together and find a way to stick it to Sony. But I don't know how they could. The way I see it is, if you bought Helldivers 2, right, and you now can no longer play it, you essentially are ripped off of a product that you paid for. You should have restitution, whether you get a refund or they sue them in a class action lawsuit and say, this is bullshit. We deserve restitution. We can't play a product we paid for, right? But ultimately, history tells a different story. The people who are in power always get away with this kind of behavior. And with Sony, they're a major game publisher, they're a major game developer, they're a major console manufacturer. Do you really think that this small little blight on their record is going to change? No, people are going to just keep buying stuff from them. It's not going to change attitudes overall. The Canons were the biggest people in Street Fighter in the United States because they were rich. So they could finance big tournaments, and people just kept going to their tournaments despite the fact that there was documented corruption at their tournaments. Nobody cared. They just kept going anyway. Oh, well, I did too. I'm guilty of it. I'm a moron. I went to EVO a few times too. I'm just as stupid as everybody else. It was like either you concede and you go to EVO, or you're just missing out on the biggest competitive event of the year for Street Fighter, even though you don't like the people running it because you think that they're corrupt. It doesn't matter, right? So the way I see it, nothing will come of this. Even though there should be positive change, I don't think anything will come of this situation. This will be a story for a couple weeks, and then either people will make a PSN account and continue to play the game, or they won't. And I don't think there's going to be anything that's ever going to really, change. Sony will still do these kind of underhanded practices. You know what I mean?
Then we have this from Gout. Remember this the next time DSP says anything development-wise about a game.
Would I ever apply to work at a game company? In what regards or response? Like, number one, I'm not a developer. I don't know anything about coding or anything like that. I wouldn't be able to do that. I mean, could I come up with concepts for a good game? Probably. But typically, it's people who have been in the industry for a long time who get into those roles. They don't just hire someone from an outside perspective as someone who's going to be like a consultant on a game's scope or range or what a game should be, right? I'm also not well respected or regarded in the gaming community at all because of the insane amount of trolls that I have on the internet. So I don't see how on earth I would ever get hired for a game company in any capacity. I don't know what I would be doing. Cleaning the toilets? No, I don't want to be a janitor for Take-Two Interactive. So probably not.
And then during DSP versus the internet, he went on a huge rant about his nerve pain and his spine being messed up, his ruptured disc, his herniated disc, in a moment that I think Steve of the Dead is going to lose his mind yet again, because apparently he's making a never-ending video on Phil and his back injury. And well, Phil said this.
For those who never had spinal or nerve pain, you're lucky. I have it, sometimes daily. It depends. I don't have it nearly as bad as someone like Butterbean, but I've had a lower back injury that was severe where I almost had a herniated or a ruptured disc, I had a herniated disc. I almost had a ruptured disc. Today I get pain. I get problems with my neck. I get problems with my upper back. And basically you get so much pain in you because you get these shooting nerve pains that you can't help. You'll just be sitting there doing fucking nothing. And then you'll just zoop pain. What the fuck? And sometimes you'll get numbness, you'll feel pressure, and you can't control it. You're not doing anything to cause it. Your spine is just messed up. And it's awful. It's debilitating, and it's sadly, it can be life ruining. So, man, I hope that they fix it.
Then Phil, every single day, every single stream, has to complain about money. No matter how much money he gets, it's never enough. Despite making over 100K a year, he can't pay his bills, dude. And this is from Gamerface Gaming. I may be living month to month, paycheck to paycheck, begging for tips on stream for the rest of my life.
All right, everyone. It's time to do another stretch and another hour, basically, of the game. Now, guys, here's the deal. I think you know what I'm going to say, right? I really like this game. I'm enjoying playing it this time. Up to now, this playthrough has had great support. And I would say engagement is good. You guys are here. You're active viewers. But we haven't had a contribution in about 2 hours. As you know, I try to hit the tier 1 tips goal every stream I do. We got 16 bucks out of 50. All right. Please, if you like Fallout, please support it. I want to keep this in the streams as a daytime stream. It has done well up to today. I don't know why today, particularly, things are much slower. We did get some gifted memberships earlier. That helps. But tips, I don't know what to say. So please support the stream if you like it and you want to keep it in the daytime rotations. We basically had this as a main stream planned until the 21st of the month when new games start coming out. And obviously, I would like to do that. If it dies out of nowhere with no support, then I'm going to have to probably make it night streams, which I actually don't want to do. I like having it as a day stream, but it has to be something that's going to work. Okay? Fair enough. So I hope you understand that, and thank you for that. Okay? And, all right. Let me stand up. Oh. Just walk a little bit.
It's funny how he had that shit-eating grin on his face. He knows he begs. He knows it works. So you can see he's self-aware about his begging. He just doesn't care. Then we have Misery Merchant. Phil watched the worst of Ricada Law, and all he got out of it was you shouldn't drink on stream, and you should never talk to Kiwi farmers. Watch about 30 seconds total. Yeah, the former alcoholic DSP is telling other people you shouldn't drink on stream. But you know guys, for $100 I'll take a shot. Then we have DSP Eats It. Same shareholder meeting, by the way.
Half the people in the chat are just there to hang out. They're not even talking about the game anymore. They're not paying attention to what you're doing in the game or on the stream. And support today was really slow. Like $20 in tips, I believe. A few super chats. And by the way, guess what? Attendance, engagement, and support were great. And overall, I just want to let everyone know. Right now, things are actually going pretty good overall for the channel. We have completely rebounded from RPG overload.
Then I find this very comical. So RTU, who's obsessed with DSP, he says we're the obsessed ones. But every single stream of his is about Phil. He puts Phil in his thumbnails. Even when Phil's not in the video, he references Phil. Well, guess what? Phil has now overtaken RTU for views. We have this from Next Gen Guy. DSP Daily Scamming Panhandler is getting more views than Burnt Out Can't Review Shit USA, who has 790,000 more subscribers than Dentside Phony. So you see at the bottom right corner, 511,000 video views for DSP. And then Review Tech USA, 444,000 video views. Now I also want you to keep in mind at the top there, subscribers, 1.03 million subscribers for Review Tech USA and 210,000 for DSP Gaming. Then we have this still shot of Phil wearing the Bender hat with his platinum vest that he yelled at people he can't wear because of the heat. When you see your reflection in the TV screen and it hits you all at once, this is what you become. So hope you guys like that. Click that like, share the video, leave a comment below, hit subscribe. Subscribe my other channels on the details of the end cards. And as always, I love each and every one of you. Hope you're all safe, healthy, and happy. Peace and love.